Thank you, Mr. Blacksad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know,
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
Had it been stolen?
I don't know. My father wore it on his pinky finger after she died.
Not always, apparently.
Will you find out why?
I'll try. But there's something else I'm worried about. This might have something to do with your father's death and Bobby Yale's disappearance.
Oh my, yes. It could be.
Big, bright eyes. Looks well rested. Either she didn't mourn her father, or she really knows how to work that makeup. Nice and steady heartbeat. What the?
What's wrong?
Someone's taking pictures from the rooftop.
Are you sure?
I'll go take a look.
Now, who's that rope for, Miss Dunn?
Weekly. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, look! Isn't that Cassidy?
Don't change the subject, you sad little...
Why don't we settle this over ice cream, huh, John? Just like in the good old days.
How did you get up here? I don't want anyone to see you. Everyone, even the most hapless of creatures, has a gift. Something that makes them special, that makes them worth knowing. Foul-smelling Weekly is no exception. No matter what he does, it's impossible to stay mad at him for too long.
This bourbon shake is delicious. Want a taste?
You know I don't like milk.
Your loss. So, Joe Dunn hangs himself and leaves his gym to his daughter, which makes her the first woman to run a boxing gym, I think.
I don't think Dunn killed himself.
What? Do you have a suspect? Any leads?
No, it's just a hunch. Although... I haven't identified the murderer just yet. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a hunch. I wouldn't bet my life on it. I've got other suspects, like O'Leary, the bookmaker.
Desmond O'Leary? The same O'Leary who used to date Helen Moore? America's sweetheart? Now that's a woman.
And then there's the walrus. Who was that guy?
Come on. You've never heard of Frank Cassidy? The president of the Boxing Managers Association?
Who's also Stone's agent, Bobby Yale's rival.
Hey, he might have a motive, right? He might know something about Dunn's death, right?
I decided to ask Weekly to investigate Cassidy. My reasons? Weekly was right. Cassidy could have had a motive to kill Dunn. Weekly had already proven to be nosy. The farther I kept him from the gym, the better. But with Weekly, you just never know what the best approach might be. Should I give him an order, or a subtle suggestion? Yeah, you might be right about Cassidy. But, it won't be easy to make him talk. He seems like a pretty tough cookie. Only a thorough and efficient detective could pull it off. But the problem is, I already got enough on my plate.
You're a lucky man, John Blacksad.
I don't follow.
You just found the thorough detective you need.
Oh, of course. What a great idea. How did I not think of you?
Hey, don't sweat it. But you'll have to do me a favor. Tell Sonia Dunn that a legendary journalist from What's News wants an interview.
Weekly, please.
Well, if not, bye-bye, Cassidy.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Great. That's settled then.
By the way, I never told you what happened to Colbert, did I?
No. What happened?
The rhinoceros came by and offered me money to keep quiet.
Wow. Are we talking petty cash or big bucks?
The latter.
That's my boy. Good job, Blacksad.
Half the money is yours.
Yeehaw!
So, was there really someone on the roof?
There was, but it was just a friend of mine.
Oh, so now your friends are spying on me.
Look, I had nothing to do with it. I even got him to stop.
Sure you did.
Dunn kept files on the gym's staff and clients. Name, address, and date of birth. A happy family? I'd like to take a look inside that safe now. Could you give me the combination?
I'd love to help you, but my mother's birthday used to be the combination, but I already tried it.
Could you tell me your birthday?
Of course, March 6th.
And the year?
I'm 24, Mr. Blacksad. You do the math.
No luck. What leads a man to do something like this? Life's already dealt me a fair share of blows, but... I don't know why. Something just doesn't add up. know this much. The chest expander in the trash belongs to Yale.
What the hell? Hey, Jake, give me one good reason not to smash in your face. What the hell are you doing in my locker?
I'm a detective. That's what I do.
Yeah, and my friend too. Well, that's what I thought.
Off me.
Sometimes, John, I could just punch you.
Why do you have that pen, Jake? What mess are you in? The proud South. Bastards. Smells like paint. Of course. Arthur Tucker painted the racial slur on Yale's locker. Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
I saw the shamrock in your locker. I know what it means.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
I'm a detective. What do you think I'll do?
Yeah, definitely better detective than friend. All right, you win, pussycat. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job, and it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do? I'm pretty sure you would have done the same.
I've done things like that, and worse, but I'm not proud of them. I've also said no more than once.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning widows. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
O'Leary pays you with dirty money, and you're part of a criminal organization. There's no two ways about it. But that's not what bothers me. I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe Dunn's death.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. As you know, I left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd be pissed off.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
You should have. Let's just say you owe me one, all right?
You sure drive a hard bargain, John. All right.
Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me.
Yes?
Feeling any better?
Yeah, I guess. Thanks.
Did you and your father get along?
Let's just say our relationship got better when I left for Sunny University. An 8-hour drive from here.
Meaning?
I'll lay it out for you, Mr. Blacksad. My father, Joe Dunn, disappeared the day my mother died. He became a shell of himself. Joe Dunn, my legal guardian. A man who gave me food, shelter, clothing, and an education. And that's more than you need to know.
I saw you arguing with a guy named Cassidy. What did he want?
Remember the fight that needs to take place in order to save this gym?
Well, Cassidy manages Yale's rival, Stone, the reigning champion.
If Bobby doesn't show up, he'll lose money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to care.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Dunn's room had quite a view. Looks like Dunn liked to measure his daughter and Bobby Yale each year. Sonia's measurements stop at 18, and there's a gap in Bobby's between ages 15 and 17. I remember that fight, back when Jake was coming up the ranks. Okay, Mary put the wedding ring in the envelope and wrote Sonia Dunn on it. But why did she have the ring in the first place? What do you think about Jake Ostiambi?
Who? Who's that?
A big gorilla. Boxer, too. A friend of Joe Dunn's.
Oh, yeah. I barely know him. I don't like how he looks at me.
Have you remembered anything else about the moment you found Dunn's body?
I'm afraid not. It's too painful.
I know. But we need to find Bobby Yale. Anything, any minor detail, could really make a difference.
I'll try.
Any ideas where Bobby Yale could be?
How am I supposed to know? He's rarely there when I clean the gym. Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
Have you remembered anything else about the moment you found Dunn's body?
I really can't remember anything. I'm sorry.
Can I ask you about your job?
Which one?
How long have you worked at the gym?
It's been, 4 or 5 years? Although, I don't think I'll be able to set foot in there again.
This must be really hard for you. I'm sorry. Tell me about your work here in the diner.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. My boss.
Oh, glad to hear that. Other than the diner and the gym, you don't work anywhere else, right?
I wouldn't have the time, although I'm not sure I want to continue working at the gym.
It might be best to stay away from the gym, at least for a while, for your own well-being. In due time, things might change.
Joey used to say the same thing. Maybe. I don't know. Thanks.
Sorry. I think that's it for now. See you around.
We'll miss you at Sam's Diner. Bye-bye.
Were Mary Purnell and Joe Dunn an item? What if Mary's birthday is the combination to the safe? And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. A few bucks. Just petty cash.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
All right. Thanks. Looks like a chest expander, doesn't it? Do you remember anything else about the day you found the thingamajig with the springs and the paint can?
Yeah, no. Wait, yeah. Well, now that I think of it, no. Hey, pal, how about thanking a good-looking goat with a cigarette?
Of course. Here you go.
Yeah, you think you're not responsible for my pathetic state? Think you're not to blame? It's the government that shipped me off to war.
They shipped me off too.
Oh, right. So then you know what it's like to kill, too. Well, then another sad hobo shouldn't be a problem for you, Professor.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay, I understand. Wait, but that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, well, you know we goats tend to jump from one thing to another. The government paid for everything. Army fatigues, rations, weapons, lodging at hookers, drugs. Do you know where that money comes from? Taxes! Your taxes, my dear friend. You helped them cut my legs. they declare war every chance they get, so that the weapon industry that finances their campaigns gets richer and richer and richer. And that's how we finance their wars. So the slightest connection with corruption turns us into accomplices. Unless one manages to keep at arm's length. That is what I did, my loyal disciple, at the Million-Star Hotel. So, do like your master, the great...
Hey, what's your name? You never told me... I know you're hiding something.
What?
Happy birthday. I just found out it was a week ago.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm sure you received wonderful presents. For example, your date of birth used as the combination for Dunn's safe.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We've been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Worked out first thing, huh?
Oh no. He used to say that showing his boxers how to fight was exercise enough. Paperwork. He just hated it. But that was just him. Instead of putting off the things he couldn't stand, he did them as soon as possible. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day. So we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Why did you keep it secret?
For Sonia's sake. She and Joey drifted apart after her mother's death. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was, and we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him.
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring, and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about Yale? Wasn't he like a son to him?
Maybe you already noticed I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Thanks for sharing all that with me. Take care.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
But
Thanks, pal.
so, what else can you tell me about Dunn's death?
Well, not much. My memory's not what it used to be.
What was Joe Dunn like?
He was a decent man. Have you seen all those slogans on the wall? Those motivational phrases? Joe really believed in them. All of them.
Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although... when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
He played the saxophone, right?
Yeah, pretty well for a white boy. But he quit when his wife died. Makes no sense, right? I mean, nothing draws chicks like the brass. Why quit when you're finally free? Ha 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 ha.
I found an empty wine bottle on the rooftop. Did Joe Dunn drink?
Only for a while, back when his wife died. But eventually he quit. After that, he'd only drink on special occasions.
Joe Dunn or Joey Dunn?
Huh? Nobody called him Joey. Well, maybe his wife. Although, she didn't call him anything after she died.
Do you remember anything else about Joe Dunn and Bobby Yale's argument?
No, not really, no. Only Joe yelling, "If you do, I'll call off the fight and kick you out of the gym."
Dunn wasn't black, but he allowed you and Bobby Yale to train here.
Yeah, this was the first integrated gym in the city, I think.
But not everyone liked that, hmm?
You've seen the graffitis, right? If I get my hands on that bastard...
I happen to know who painted the lockers. Arthur Tucker.
I knew it! I knew it was him, that bastard. I'm gonna whip the white out of him.
What can you tell me about Sonia Dunn?
She's hot, ain't she?
It seems like her father's death didn't really upset her.
Well, she likes to play it cool, which makes her really hot.
You two seem to get along nicely.
Well, I've known her since she was a baby. But she sure has grown, if you get my drift. I hadn't seen her since she left for college about 4 years ago.
Do you have any idea where Bobby Yale could be?
Not a clue.
I dropped by Bobby Yale's apartment. I think he might be involved with O'Leary, the bookmaker.
You sure? Yale had some dark years, no doubt, but Dunn turned him into a decent guy. I'm no detective, but I wouldn't follow that lead.
You said Yale joined a gang back in the day? Know which one?
Hell, I don't know, John. This is New York City. There are more gangs than people.
Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago?
Yeah, and his wife, Bobby's mom, died shortly after. Dunn is the closest thing the family the poor kids had ever since.
That explains the poetry book in his locker. If Yale's gonna fight the reigning champion, he's got a big career ahead of him.
He hasn't lost a single fight since he turned pro. The little bastard beat the socks off me a few years back.
I better let you get back to your drills.
All right.
Smirnoff.
You're gonna like what I have to tell you about the Dunn case. I went to Yale's place and ran into O'Leary's men. They were waiting for him.
Ah, well, it's only normal. They run an illegal gambling operation. If a fight's canceled, they lose money. I'd love to take a swing at O'Leary, but we can't base the case on a hunch.
I'm not finished yet. I think I have a new lead on the Dunn case. I found racial slurs painted on the lockers at Dunn's gym. He was pretty open-minded about racial issues. Maybe his death had something to do with that.
John, half of the crimes in this city have racial ramifications. Unless you have solid proof that it wasn't suicide, my hands are tied.
I think I have a new lead on the Dunn case. Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off-key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
You look pretty tired yourself.
Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you alright?
Can we just talk about Dunn?
Okay, no problem. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Interesting.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now? Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
Sure, you can trust me. I give you my word.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
I couldn't say. In my line of work, you really shouldn't jump to conclusions.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, They didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Oh, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe.